coming at you from the frozen tundra that is East Central Alberta, Canada. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Float, Odyssey, Telegram. Welcome back to the workshop where we create community, find freedom, promote preparedness, and share success. I am Toolman Tim, and today is June 18th, 2022, and this is episode 129 of the Workshop Podcast. It was a mouthful. We got through it. So here tonight, you guys will see that I have a special guest in studio. Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, Tim.
Good. I told him he was going to do all the talking tonight, and that would be it. But yeah, we'll get our announcements out of the way, and then we will chat with Chris. It's kind of cool to actually have him here in person, building community. So first off, announcements. Tomorrow night, Sunday, same time, 7 p.m., we have James Sanoa. And James, if I mispronounced that name, I apologize. From Gingerbread Farms, he is in here tomorrow evening to talk about electric vehicles, a little bit of solar, some freeze drying, a little bit of everything. It's going to be a great episode. Number 2, Canadian Coffee is now live. It was a long time coming, guys. Miserably long time coming. They fixed all of the bugs that were in the website, all the behind the scenes tech end of things, and now it is up and running. So if you want to support us, especially if you're Canadian, check it out. And yeah, I think it's like free shipping over $125 or something like that. But check it out, go from there. And join the Telegram group. That is the one. If you want to be around, it's one of those places you can drop in, drop out, leave a message for somebody, come back, chat some more. It's always there. And that is the place. If you want to become part of the Telegram community, that's where we're at. So, and finally, today's tool is the tool that I couldn't find when we were working today. Liberty Meat. Thank you. So I brought Chris all the way up. He drove 5 hours to come and work for me, and I needed a small Robertson. For those Americans, that's a small square screwdriver. And I couldn't find it because I left the gosh darn Milwaukee multi-bit screwdriver on my workbench, which is of absolute no good to me there. So I figured I better use that for today's tool. So if you're looking for a top quality, inexpensive multi-bit screwdriver, Milwaukee is great. So shout out to Liberty Meat Solutions. He's over there. Hey, Martinson family, how are you? Look, they call this gentleman.
Wow.
We don't deserve that. That's okay.
That must be a typo.
It is, definitely. Gentleman, I think she was talking to me. So, all right. So anyway, guys, this is kind of cool. Chris should feel rather special because the only other person who's ever been live in studio with me is my beautiful wife. And you're not my beautiful wife. No, you are not, but that is totally fine. So Chris has been up and we've been hanging out for a couple of days now. We went and I put him to work. We cleaned up a bank property. Yeah. We had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Yeah, it was good.
Thunderstorm, a little bit of hail, a little bit of rain. Got my feet wet.
Mine stayed dry.
Yeah, they did, of course, because you were actually
prepared.
You were prepared, right? And I was unprepared. So there we are. So, Mr. Dixon, where'd you come from? Claresholm?
Claresholm.
Okay, yeah. And where's that? Where the hell is that?
Claresholm is about 4.5 hours south and west of Provost.
Okay,
so nobody knows. South of Calgary, about an hour.
So you're in Alberta. You're another Canuck, right?
Alberta. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. So we've been. I shouldn't say me. Chris reached out to me. What, about a year? Almost a year ago.
Almost a year.
It was fucking cold back then. Remember?
Cold.
Man, it was cold.
My wife still doesn't forgive me for that.
No, because Chris messages me and he's like some crazy YouTube fan and he's like, hey, I want to come to your house. No, I'm just kidding. He's like, I got to come through your way and I'd like to meet up for coffee. And I thought, you know what? It's time we start building real community. So here we are. We are in person. So you drove all the way up. You had what do you have, like a used vehicle or something you had to bring through, or what was the story there?
Well, my wife's uncle was working up here.
Yep.
And he bought a new car. And he was headed to BC right after this job. So we said, hey, we'll stop in Calgary, pick up your car for you, paid for, and we'll go for a drive. Because we had nothing better to do than come to Provost.
Well, yeah, it was driving 5 hours away. It's a big town. And so I said, drop by for a 15-minute coffee. Yeah. And that lasted for...
Frozen feet later at about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was cold. It was very nice.
And your propane ran out.
Yes, it was. That was great. So we were like, we're cold. Yeah. And your wife was cold forever. Yes. Yeah, that's why she didn't come today, because she's still frozen.
Yes, the entire way to Red Deer, she complained that her feet were still cold.
That's why we love them, isn't it? So you've got so many irons in the fire, a bunch of different things.
Yes, those very small irons.
They are, but you're building. Chris is trying to build something great, which I think is cool. And I tell him that all the time. And he's, usually picking my brain for ideas. And I learn from Chris all the time too. I can't even remember. No, I do. You taught me about meteorology today, about the buildup of clouds and how.
Yeah, but you know that's all just crap.
Yeah, you just bullshitting me. That's okay. Yeah. So tell me your story. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, I've been in Alberta all of my life.
Sure.
For the vast majority of it. I was born in Edmonton, which is not far from here. And we actually lived in Hines Creek at the time. So that's north of Grand Prairie.
It's a ways
about
up there.
an hour and a half, something like that.
Okay.
So, little homestead. But so I don't know what else to say.
So you were born there, and then you moved.
We moved all over.
Okay. Did your parents homestead or have animals or anything when you were a kid? Or
no, my dad was an oil field worker.
Okay.
And we always had a farm, right? So we always had chickens. We always had a horse.
Okay.
Sort of thing, but nothing crazy. But we tried to be as self-sufficient as we could, as much as I remember, anyways.
Sure.
We always had a big garden. We always had. We were always processing chickens or something like that, right? So, and Dad was a hunter, so
okay,
there was always deer meat, moose meat, things like that.
You hunt?
I don't anymore. I want to get back into it. Yeah,
right.
I really do. Yeah.
Speaking of horses, did I ever tell you what a horse is? Fastest way to turn money into shit.
yeah, right. Ranchers
don't like hearing that. So then you moved down south into not Calgary, but way down, right?
Way down.
Yeah. You're within spitting distance of the American border.
We're 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we're still 2 hours.
Okay.
Away,
so you're, for you, or for me, that's close, But,
right.
Yeah. So then you graduated high school. What'd you do for work?
Graduated high school. I went right into auto body. And that's kind of what all I've done. I've had brief stints in management, but I've always been in the auto industry. So whether it's service department or parts or whatever.
You say that like you're so like it was such an easy thing, but nobody knows what the service. Tell me how exactly how stress-free parts and service is, right?
Yes, it's super stress-free. Like you just go into work every day, customers are always happy, and you never have to fight with anybody, not a boss.
Never have to rush to find anything. You never. Yeah, it's because I've heard that it's like one of the most stressful jobs you can actually.
Yeah,
have,
well, those are the people that just I don't know. They must not like to work.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? So
it's super stressful. Yes, it is.
And now
even in a small town,
you do body work, right?
Yes.
And that is an art in and of itself, isn't it?
It can be. Yeah, it can be for sure. And I more like the metalwork end of it than I do the painting and all that sort of stuff.
Do a lot of welding.
Yeah,
kind of
lots
stuff.
of welding, a lot of metal shaping and things like that.
Yeah. So speaking of metal, you have. What is it? The forge. What's your North
White North Forge?
White North Forge.
That's a little side hustle.
So what is it? Because I don't know. A few months ago, I get this really cool package in the mail, and I open it up, and I'm like, Chris said he was asking me all these weird questions, like, do you like copper? Or whatever. I forget what railway. That's what it was. Railway, yeah. So he made me some very special barbecue tools, which I use and adore. So talk about it. How did you get into? Is it called forging or metalworking?
Yeah, into blacksmithing, right?
Okay.
So I've always been a metal worker, but we use a torch to bend stuff to make jigs and things like that, right? So, and I did get my welding ticket, so I am a welder by trade as well.
Sure.
But, I don't know. I was watching YouTube and I stumbled on Alex Steele. And if anybody does blacksmithing, they'll know who Alex Steele is.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Forged and Fire fan, so any knife guys, just
ignore it.
And anyways, he was smashing away on steel, and I'm like, I can do that, right? Like so. I went and bought myself some crappy bricks from Canadian Tire, and I made myself a forge. I learned how to build a propane burner, mounted it in there, and started smashing away. And then,
so were the bricks? Were they fire bricks?
Yeah, like fireplace bricks. Right?
Okay.
So they're not rated for that.
Yeah. But did they work?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely they did.
So what does your homemade forge look like? Or what? How did you?
Well, right now it's actual kiln bricks, which are 2.5 inches thick, 4 by 9.
Okay.
And I've just got them stacked up in a square with a bottom, and they sit on a stand, and it's very simple. It's the inside chamber is big enough to fit a horseshoe. Like it's tall, but
Yeah.
it's wide enough to slide a horseshoe in.
Okay.
Because I do most of my stuff is with reclaimed steel. So
Yeah, which I love. I think that's cool. Did you have to heat up the copper or did you just pound that down?
No, yeah, you do, because
Okay.
the copper is also reclaimed. It's reclaimed water pipe. So I take it and I split it and I anneal it, which you heat it up and cool it, and that on copper is different than steel.
Does that make it stronger?
It makes it soft.
Oh, soft.
So
Okay.
I can roll it out, flatten it out, and then that's how I make the spatula part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jaggy, that's Craig over in Scotland, says that Alex Steele's another Brit export.
Yes.
Must be a British guy, is he?
Yes, he is.
You could say
and he moved to Montana.
They stole him away. Steele,
Yeah.
Alex Steele.
Yeah,
they stole him away.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
terrible.
All right, that's
That was
horrible.
bad.
Yeah. So, what have you built in a forge? And okay, first So, can anybody build a forge?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you need special tools? Do you
No.
need to weld?
No.
No. Do you need to cut? Maybe
No.
a little. No, not at all.
You don't, because all your fittings,
Yep,
you can buy in the right size that are black pipe.
Okay.
So you just thread them together. You don't
No
even
shit.
need pipe dope.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can run a copper line off your propane tank to it, and you've got a burner.
Really?
Yeah. So you might have to learn how to run a drill with a hole saw.
Jeez, that can be tough.
Yeah.
Around our community, we should be pretty good. So,
Yeah. As long as you don't forget it at home.
Yeah. Jaggy says he made a forge from a wheel rim, an air bed blower, and makes blades from old rasps and files.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
is cool.
It's probably a coal forge.
Okay.
Yeah, this one would be.
And you'd have a bellows or some sort.
That's what your bed blower would be.
Okay.
You'd have your rim would be your chamber.
Yep.
For your charcoal, and then your blower would come in underneath it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It superheats.
So the air superheats, right?
That's superheats.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's probably what he's doing.
Oh, so, and what do you sell any of the stuff you've been making?
I do. Yeah. I do have an Etsy shop, but it's not very well populated. There's just a few things on there, but yeah, and I've had some custom orders of people, friends of mine that know that I do this stuff. So I've made some of those steak turners out of rail spike knives. And
what about
fire
do you go to farmers markets, things like that?
I haven't done any of that yet. It's a lot of time for very limited.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know what other people think, but my experience with farmers market is it's a hobby. Yeah, it's not a business. Yeah. You're just there to shoot the shit with people and get out, maybe talk a little, but you can spend your money, your time, and make a lot more money doing other things. I think, but was Etsy good to you in the past, or have you not really pushed it?
I don't know. Should I? I haven't had a really great experience with Etsy.
No, I don't care. You can say it.
I think they're very terrible people.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you recommend doing it yourself?
I think that the best way to do it is to get a website.
Okay.
And just run it right off your website.
Okay.
Because then you're not dealing with seller fees and all the added stuff that they take.
Yeah.
Because they're always going to want their cut because it's their platform, right?
Well, you're a friggin' genius when it comes to figuring out how to save money.
I'm cheap.
Yeah, well, that's well, I was telling you about my old operator there, Alex. So he used to say, he's a good Newfie guy, and he'd always say that if you want to know the easiest way to do something is to hire a lazy person. I said they'll figure it. Yeah. So anyway,
but the easiest and cheapest way to.
But Chris has helped me figure out a way that I think we can have shirts here and ship them to the States without them costing you guys or me an arm and leg. So just thought I'd let you know. It's pretty kind of cool. So Jaggy says Etsy charges a lot for little rewards. Word of mouth is the best advertising anyone can get.
Yes.
You can say that in a Scottish accent too.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't either, but that's okay.
I always when I read his comments, I think of the janitor from The Simpsons.
Willie. Yeah, he always tells me that too. Yeah. And shout out to Chicken Hawk. How are you? And my beautiful wife is on here too.
Oh.
Hey, Miss Becky, we better be good.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah. So, okay. So how long have you been doing forging?
Just a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been very long. I guess this will be 3. This will be the 3rd year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it was all through COVID. Was that?
Yeah.
Everybody picked up a fucking hobby at COVID. Yeah.
Learned how to make sourdough bread too.
Yeah, I did. I did a video on how to make homemade wipes and homemade bread.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Hey, we got Jake. I think Jake might still be in Korea right now. I'm not sure. And we got Hunter. Hey, Hunter, how are you? We got a good crew in here tonight. So, So where are you going to head with that part of things?
With the blacksmithing?
Yeah.
I think it's just going to remain a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it too much work for, I know you enjoy it. Is it scalable? Could you make good money at it? Or do you think you're kind of fill your market where you are? What do you think?
I think in Alberta,
Mhm.
because lots of people have tried, and which I don't want to make excuses, but
No, it's
I
fine.
think that I think it's a really hard market,
Sure.
and I think it's people don't like paying retail for things because, well, and like even the beautiful covered deck that you just built with your plant hangers and stuff.
Yeah.
Those things you're going to buy at Home Hardware or whatever, and they're going to be
absolutely.
$19.99.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge $40.
And you should charge more. They're worth way more. Absolutely.
So, but and it's a tough racket. So it's a very niche market, and I think that I'll just keep it a hobby.
But you're the type that likes to keep a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun, of course. Yeah. So what else are you? So you're a body worker, whatever you want to call it, by day.
Auto body technician.
Auto body technician. Okay, that's not bad by day. So then I will. Yes. So what do you do in the evenings? Because you got all kinds of free time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All kinds. Generally, I don't know. It depends how big my honeydew list is, right? So, most times I'll come home. We do run a garden at home, right? We have
well, let's talk about that first.
7 raised beds and a greenhouse. And
talk about you got
I have a cool green.
An urban. I don't know what urban homestead.
Urban homestead.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we can call it that.
What do you?
No
what
chickens
do you got?
yet.
No, but
That's
they're coming. Maybe bees.
I don't know.
Nah, whatever. So yeah, you got a wicking bed. Yeah, tell me
so
about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 raised beds that I built. I recycled 2 trampolines and made a greenhouse.
That's so cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because you used the hoop.
Yeah.
Because when you first told me, I'm thinking, I don't know, my brain didn't work, but I was thinking straight up in the air. This is So cut it in half and flipped them on their side.
That's right. Yeah. So put 2 of those together, covered them with plastic. We're messing around with some other experimental, like straw bale gardening and things like that.
In the greenhouse or
outside?
No,
outside.
Okay.
Outside. And then this year we cut down the spruce trees, so we're going to make room for some berries, because I want to do Saskatoons and blueberries and stuff down in the backyard. So we're just planting trees like mad.
And you built.
I don't want to say that we're doing it around town.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, what are they?
Stealth.
Stealth. Yeah. So what about so you got berries coming? And you brought me something too, didn't you?
Fuel.
Well, that too. Yes, I wasn't even thinking about that, but I was thinking about the plant. What did you?
Oh, the plant, comfrey. Yeah.
So we're trying comfrey in Canada now, aren't we? Yes.
So
we'll see how that goes.
that was from Brian from the Lost Project. Right? He's the big comfrey guy.
Oh yeah, he got us all interested.
Yeah. So I just hunted around and I found some. Yeah, I knew you were interested, so I got some for myself and I dropped you off 4 plants, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited. And so you got a wicking bed or a little? Can you explain how you built that with the buckets again? Because I kind of got it. But,
sure.
Here, you know what? First
question.
Yeah, let's answer Jaggy's question. What is straw bale gardening?
Okay. Well, you take a straw bale, which is I don't know if Jaggy will understand this or not.
I think so. He'll be good. Yeah.
So small square bales are 2 feet by 4 feet by 1 foot, I think is the standard size.
Yeah.
So you stand them on edge lengthwise so that the straw is poking up, and you plant this way.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So you fill them, like you put bone meal and fertilizer on top. You water that in, so that it starts to rot.
Okay.
So it takes about a week,
so
and then it stinks to high heaven.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Rotten haze.
And the dogs love it.
Sure. Yeah. They want to
and then you can put a little soil on top and plant potatoes, zucchini, carrots, radishes, whatever.
So do you have to have soil? You have to have soil then.
You don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. You can transplant right in with a seedling. So I guess you do, because the seedling is going to have soil.
A little bit. Cup, right? Yeah, but once the roots get out, they're going to
they just go down and they find the water and they just start to eat up the organic material.
It's like another soilless medium or whatever. Yeah,
pretty much.
That's cool. And
then eventually that just breaks down and becomes mulch for the rest of your beds, right?
And the bale would only be good for one planting.
I think you can do 2 seasons out of them.
No shit.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to get that, especially up here because it freezes.
Yeah. Right? Okay. Yeah, it holds it together.
Yeah.
So what are you planting? Did you say in your, or what are you going to try?
I got potatoes and carrots growing right now. So I was really trying to, I don't know, carrots you don't like, you have to thin them.
Yep.
So I just overpopulated it because I'm hoping that they grow down.
Sure.
Because the bale's this deep.
Yeah.
Right? So anyways.
Yeah. Jaggy likes that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you've got how about talk about your wicking bed that you built?
Yeah, so the wicking bed I built was just a 2x2, was supposed to be just a herb bed.
Okay.
So we were just, it stands off the ground 30 inches or whatever. And it was supposed to be 12 inches deep.
Okay.
And I was just going to put like planters in it full of herbs. Right?
Yep.
And then it's got a lid that's covered for a house.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
But my wife didn't like that.
I understand.
Idea.
I've been there.
So,
yep.
We've lined it with pond liner.
Okay.
The bottom. We put in 6 1-gallon pots.
Okay.
Right side up.
Okay.
And so they have square holes in the bottom, right, for drainage. And then I put a plywood top on it. Put soil on top of that.
Okay.
And yes, the plywood will rot. I understand the irony of that. And then I drilled 6-inch holes in each corner.
Okay.
Okay, and so that allows, and then filled those pots, because that's where a pot sits, filled those full of dirt.
Okay.
And then I've got a hole where you dump in about 20 gallons of water.
That's crazy. 20 gallons will fit in there. That's like 4 or 5 gallon jugs. Yeah. I know my math's really good. Yeah, that is. And so and if you mulch the top of that a little bit or whatever, but you'll be.
But I closed the lid, right? So now it's an extra.
So it's a whole closed system. You might not have to water it all summer.
Well, no, I took the cover off.
Yeah. Let's see what Rachel says. I always read that you need the straw to be hit with nitrogen to super compost before planting.
That's right. Yeah. So you use a fertilizer as well as blood meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that helps start the breaking it down. Okay.
That's right.
And that's what brings that beautiful smell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It hardly smells like horse shit at all.
Oh, there we go. And Chicken Hawk says, stick the old bale in the greenhouse over the winter, and it might give off some heat. But it's so damn cold there, it might not work.
No, it won't work. It would freeze.
Yeah, Santa might come and sit on it, and when he gets lost and comes to our place instead of the North Pole. So, so what else are you're growing? So you got your herb garden, you got hoop house, greenhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, you got you're doing rain catchment.
Rain catchment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got 6,000 liters of IBC totes right now.
What's that in freedom units? No, they're divided by 4. That'll give us 1,500 gallons. There you go.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah. So,
so anyway, I'm a gallons guy.
I know.
As soon as I got those IBC totes, it was 1,000,
and it's simple.
just easy.
I know. We bust each other's balls, but metric is good for that. So what do you got? Just your gutters and downspouts and things piped right into it?
Yep, just gutters and downspouts. That's all that is. And we had 4.5 inches of rain here last week, but so everything's full.
Sure. Do you have a way to get the water out of there yet? Out of the IBC totes?
Yeah. I actually bought. Well, we're using sprinkler pumps.
Okay.
So we just plumb those into sprinkler pump and then hook a garden hose to it and take it wherever we need it. Right?
Nice. So, it works good. And
absolutely. And I did a thing on the pump that I bought it.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
Princess Auto. I haven't done a tool review on it yet, but I will.
That's fine.
But yeah, it works great. And if there's even a little debris in there, those stainless steel pumps, they just shoot it up.
Because they're good for 1-inch solids, aren't they?
It doesn't even bother.
Yeah. So. Trout Adventure said, "What are some good plants that will grow?" Did I read that right? Yeah, that will grow year round in a garden.
Nothing here.
Yeah,
God,
you could. Can't we? Can we overwinter carrots here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to plant them late.
Right.
You can't plant them in the spring because they'll rot.
Yeah. So you got to because they got to be firm. They can't be over. Yes. Yeah, and then you still need to straw them, don't you? Mulch them. Yeah.
Big time. Strawberries will always.
Sure, they'll come back. Yeah, that's true. I mean, any perennial, right? Or but
you're not really guaranteed with perennials.
No, not here. That was one thing moving out here we had to get used to was perennials aren't necessarily perennial. So you could do carrots, leave them in the ground here for sure.
Garlic's an overwinter crop.
Yeah,
too. Onions too.
Winter wheat. That's a big one here that they do. That's more of a plow-in crop, though, isn't it? Yeah, just to help and
that's what they call a nitrogen fixer,
right?
For those gardeners,
because it fixes the nitrogen into the soil. Yeah. And what else could we? Well, rhubarb comes up every. You can't kill rhubarb. Rhubarb will be here after nuclear explosion, I'm sure. So it'll probably be
rhubarbs and cockroaches.
Yes, that is true.
What
do we got here?
What's his name?
Who's that now?
Keith Richards.
Oh yeah, Keith. Yeah, he'll be here. Jaggy says to bring back the imperial measurements, gallons and pints and inches and miles, not European rubbish.
Oh, I know, but when you work in tens, man, it's so easy.
It is, but I never like when if I said to you, could you cut something 10 millimeters? You'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, I know, right? So
no, I can't.
Still
lose yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But my kids could now. They're really good at that. So what? So what else do you have? Oh, hey, Waytime Design said my 100-degree temps finished my rhubarb off early this year. Right.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that usually.
Not yet.
Yeah, no.
We might get a few days of it.
Yeah. Won't be too many.
Waytime, where's Where are you from?
Waytime Design. If you're listening, just type out where you're from. But
Must be Texas.
I'm thinking somewhere down there because probably went to seed already, or whatever
was.
rhubarb does, and
then it'd just be mush.
Yeah. So what else you got? You said you're thinking about chickens, maybe, or
I think. Well, I didn't check in the bylaws.
Okay, Central Illinois.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Oh well.
We've been checking the bylaws because you've always talked about bees, right?
Yep. Yeah, I have for some weird reason. I know.
And so I checked the bylaws in our town to see what we can have for livestock,
Mhm.
and we can have chickens,
Nice.
5 chickens,
Okay,
which is fine.
it's a good number.
And I don't know about bees, but I'm going to check on that.
Sure.
But I live close enough to the edge of town that I could probably just keep bees there. And it wouldn't be
You like living on the edge?
living on the edge.
Yeah, it's a good Aerosmith song.
It is.
So, bees. The thing about bees right now is, I think politically, they're a win-win.
They're the
so
knees.
yeah,
They're the bees.
the bees.
knees.
They are sure. Yeah,
Yes, they are.
small towns like our town just did a May thing, No Mo May,
Right.
where they wanted to support the bees. So it's pretty hard to support the bees and then tell you can't have bees, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of places won't really push the issue a whole lot. I'm guessing.
So it's
But-
like November.
yeah, well,
in
kind of.
May.
Oh, that disappeared. There we go. Yes. He said, as an American, I'd love to see a base 10 system, but, and Rachel says, pretty sure we have some weeds that could make it with the rhubarb and roach. Yeah, that's a good point.
Quack
Sure.
grass.
Yes. Here's another one. Share with the audience, your homemade Roundup.
Homemade Roundup.
Didn't we talk about that? Or weed killer?
No.
Yeah, it's not really Roundup, but yeah.
No, it's not.
And it works, right?
It works.
Yeah.
It's nothing special. It's just
No, well, so what? Yeah, but
sometimes it's got
I didn't know it until you
gasoline
told
in
me. It's not gasoline. What do you put in it?
Jeez, I don't even remember now. It was a
It was
recipe I got off the internet.
Epsom salts, right?
Epsom salts and
Epsom
vinegar.
salt, vinegar, and water, right? We had
Water,
some
like,
water. Yeah,
obviously,
yeah. But then
yeah.
there was one other thing. Was it an oil? No, it wasn't an oil. Put you on the spot.
You
See.
did put
Yeah.
me on the spot, and it was just a thing I got off the internet.
Yeah, but it works.
Google it.
Yeah, everybody says it works anyway. So
yeah, it does work.
because I really find actually that my customers want me to use regular Roundup, and it's not fucking working.
It's
anymore.
not because it's not the same as it was.
I know
I know where all the Roundup went though.
where
All those solar farms. You should
Yeah.
drive by one.
they have lots of Roundup. There's nothing growing
God,
there.
It's just yellow. It's so terrible.
That's
So
crazy.
disgusting.
What did he said? Rachel said, "Pretty." Oh yeah, no, we read that one already. And Martinson said, "Nodding thistle will be there with the rhubarb." Yeah, there's
Yeah.
lots of those.
Canadian thistle too.
Yes.
Yes.
So we were going to go into what do you do? So in your evenings when you have nothing to do, what do you do?
I listen to books on Audible.
Yes, you're
Oh, this
a
is
big
not sponsored.
listen to anything good. Yeah, maybe someday. If Audible wants to sponsor us, I use it all the time.
Yeah, right.
So what are some good books you've listened to lately?
Well, because you started that stupid book club, I'm re-listening to the Going Home series, but I'm on book 4, so
Okay.
I'm not too far into it. But pretty much everything. Yeah.
There it is. We'll get that up here
Gallon of
first.
vinegar,
Yeah.
Epsom salts, tablespoon dish soap. Yeah, and use Dawn.
Yes.
Do use Dawn.
We'll star that.
Don't
Here's
use
a good one.
Sunlight or Walmart brand, or use Dawn.
Dawn works
Yeah.
really good. Okay.
It doesn't dry as fast and it sticks. Like,
We'll leave that on the screen for a
the
couple of
leaves,
minutes for
yeah.
people. So
write it down, folks.
yeah,
Write it
it's
down.
there. So now we got it, and it for posterity. So yeah, you read Going Home, and what
Yeah.
else have you read lately?
Well, what were we talking about the one night? The Dies of the Fire. That was a good
Mhm.
series. World Made by Hand. That was a great.
Oh,
series. I
we got to
remember
thank
that.
Carrie Brown for that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Carrie sent me an email afterwards. I said after I did my first video on where post-apocalyptic
Mhm.
movies and books,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Hey, I got a good one, World Made by Hand." So then I listened to it, and then I told you,
Yeah.
and then you loved it. I wish it went longer.
I
So,
did,
yeah,
I did
yeah.
love it. The only thing I didn't like was the guy that sounded like Ned Flanders.
Yeah, it was
But,
kind of
yeah,
funny,
whatever.
but yeah.
That's good.
So
Good comedic relief.
you always have all kinds of stuff on the go.
Yeah.
What do you? So in the evenings when you're listening to the books, yeah, you got kind of a handyman business going, do you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of stuff. I don't. That's nothing crazy, but I do.
Stop being so goddamn modest. Jesus,
I do some.
This
eavesdrop.
man works his ass off all the time, and then he doesn't want to talk about it. So
Yeah.
brag yourself up.
Brag
This is your
myself
job.
up.
That's why
Okay.
you're here.
Oh, I do some eavesdrop cleaning. I do
Mhm.
some lawn mowing. I do
What are eaves troughs?
hot job, gutters.
Yes, I know. I had to
Yes,
learn
we have
that,
to
right?
tailor
So-
our content
yeah,
for the
it's
Americans,
okay.
right? Yes.
So yeah, you do gutter cleaning. You do lawn mowing and all. for
A
people?
little bit of lawn mowing, yeah, and yeah, I haven't got into snow removal yet. That's more of just a looking after my neighbors sort of thing right now.
We really don't have any snow
Not
anyway.
right now, but
No.
maybe next month.
Yeah.
Anything small.
Could be. And what else you do? What other jobs have you done? Garbage hauling for people at all?
Little garbage hauling, but I haven't got my trailer done yet.
Okay,
Yes,
oh,
I
whatever.
need you to
So
kick me in the ass for
yeah,
that one, so.
yeah, That's okay.
But once I get that, then I'll start doing some dump runs and things like that. And because nobody wants to spend money on gas.
No, it's true.
And it's piling up. You can see it in town. Like people are just not taking their shit to the dump.
You're really good at small engine repair too.
Yeah. So I do that on the side too.
Yeah, right? I know you do a lot of things on the side. So you flip things. You go talk about your auctions. What do you do at what's your best? Well, what do you do at auctions?
I go to online auctions. I don't like in-person auctions.
Yeah, I get it.
And thank COVID for that one. I guess I don't know. It's just easier, I can look at it and I can bid online, and I don't have to stare the guy in the face. It's bidding against me.
Yeah, exactly.
And anyway, so then I basically I'm just buying anything that's small engine stuff, weed whackers, lawnmowers, nothing ride-on, nothing big, but snow blowers, rototillers. And then I'll bring them home, and hopefully they run. And if they don't, I make them run.
You see, you bought the last batch you bought. How many was in it?
There was actually 14.
And how many did they say there was?
There was 12. They said there was 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was 2 extra weed whackers.
You bought them not sight unseen, but without knowing whether.
Well, it was sight unseen because it was over the internet.
Okay.
Right? So,
and they also said no proof that they ran, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. There's never any proof that they run.
Do you mind saying how much you paid for them?
$225, I guess, by the time.
For 14?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that's Canadian.
And have you sold them all, or you sold most of them?
American, like $60,
$80 or something. Yeah. So did you?
And I just took the last 2 to the auction.
So
just before I came up.
You sold 12 of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been good.
That's one.
Yeah, there was a potential of about $3,000, and it was pretty close.
For how much? How many hours work do you think you put in to get them all
Probably
up and running?
30.
Okay.
Probably 30 hours. Yeah, of time.
So
at $60 an hour, right?
More than that.
No, but if you just that's what my time is worth, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome. Let's see here. What do we got? Dan W says, after teaching quite a few people to read a tape measure and understand all the fractions, I'd be glad to go to metric. Yeah, fractions.
It's 11 and 9 little tickies.
Yeah. Oh, I just look at the lines and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And Jaggy says, is water reclaiming legal in Canada?
Yes.
Unlike some places in the world, if anyone needs water, I'm sure Scotland can export you some flavored stuff called whiskey.
That's right.
Oh,
I love the flavored rain from Scotland.
Oh, they make good. Yeah,
it is really good stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But we can.
Yeah, we
can
totally catch water. Calgary actually has a restriction on catching water though.
Why?
Because they're stupid.
And they have and they still they literally deal with flooding all the time.
Literally.
And they don't want you to store your rainwater.
Store your rain.
So
it makes zero sense.
Probably so you can buy it from them, right?
That rain's not hitting the ground anyways.
Right.
It's hitting my roof.
Yeah.
So whether I catch it and release it later,
they don't care.
They don't care.
I know. So you're doing pretty good with that. And you done eBay stuff ever in the past?
Yeah, well, auction stuff again, right? So picking up just boxes of miscellaneous crap. I'll zoom in on the picture and see if there's anything interesting in there. But I buy a lot of tools.
Okay.
And it probably mostly antique stuff.
Okay.
And then I'll bring them home, clean them up, shine them up a little bit. I don't like to paint anything because I like it rustic. And then I'll list them on eBay.
What was your best money maker, your best find on eBay that you've done?
I can't say. I'd have to kill you.
I know you would. Yeah. Had some good
ones? It was a couple $100 just to flip on a quick little tool like it was.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's money to be made. So you can can you still make money on eBay?
Yeah, you can, but it's really hard.
Everything's a little. We always say everything's a little harder now. It seems to be like with
which is weird because we're getting older.
I know it's true. Yeah,
things
softer. Yeah. Yeah. So what else do you have on the go? Like what other projects? Well, you're
building a trailer.
Yeah. What kind of trailer? I know it's slow, but that's fine. You need a utility trailer.
Trailer. Yeah, it's out of a tent trailer.
Okay, so, and that's one of those.
I got it.
Pops up like
that's
this.
Right. Yeah, the bear feeders. With the bear feeders on the ends.
Yeah.
So
was
one of those that was stripped away already. The guy had already he'd done all the hard work.
Okay.
Right. So now I just got to finish the frame and deck it and put some sides on it so I can haul
garbage, bring stuff
or
home.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Bring stuff home from the auction too.
Do you guys ever have bulk or big pickup day down there where you can put odd stuff out to the curb?
They do 1 week a year in our town, and they quit doing it this year. Now they want you to rent a dumpster.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, well, that's fine. I guess if you're smart enough and you go to your neighbors and go, hey, want to split a dumpster with me?
Right.
But everybody was kind of up in arms over that, it's too bad. But with the price of fuel, I could see why they did it. Right.
Do you ever do any scrap metal collecting at all?
I do, but only for the blacksmith shop.
Okay.
right? Like I'll go around and collect coil springs and things like that I know are carbon steel. But
So what do you do with a coil spring? What do you
I'll
turn
make
that
tools
into?
out of it. I'll make punches and chisels. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
So what makes I'm ignorant to metal,
That's okay.
but what makes a coil spring good? Why is that
Because it's a carbon steel, so it's generally coil springs. We call them like they're a 5160 grade steel, so you can harden them,
okay?
right? So and then you can temper them so that they're different grades of hardness.
Okay.
Right? So they'll stand up to a beating.
And it's a way to get inexpensive metal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
cool.
I mean, you can get, I don't know, there's 39 feet or something of it in a coil spring.
That's like what you'd find under a transport truck
yeah.
or a car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool. Jaggy says, next time I row across the pond, we'll fill my vessel with bottles for putting note in bottle purposes only,
Right.
but have to empty them out first.
Good.
So how about making fuel? Do you know anything about making fuel?
I know a little bit about making fermented feed.
Yes. Oh, that too. Yes. Yeah. So how does one, is it a still? Is that what you use? Is it a simple, or
Yes.
is that what a
We're
person
allowed
could
to own a
use?
still in Canada, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're just not allowed to drink what comes out of it or sell it what comes out of it. Yeah, yeah. So
we can
okay.
burn it in our lawnmowers
Yes, we can.
and
Yeah,
our bodies.
and it works in a lawnmower, right?
It does work
Yeah.
in a lawnmower. I wouldn't try the gift I brought you in the lawnmower, but
No, I wouldn't do that to you either. That would be mean. So, how do you build did you build it yourself? Because just by everything you build.
This one I did not.
Oh, okay.
No.
So where'd you get it?
Bought this one off of a guy that built it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it
And
look
it's
like?
very small.
Yeah.
It's very small. It's about the size of a lobster pot.
Yep.
Like, the turkey boiler
Yeah.
pots.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about that big.
Okay.
And lots of copper line, and I don't know.
It's got a rubber seal to keep.
It's got a rubber seal to keep.
How do you keep it clamped?
With vice grips.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really red.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. And then you got a coil that goes down inside.
Yeah, down inside, and then one that comes out the top too.
And then that condenses.
But I don't. Yeah, and you got to take everything out of it.
Yep.
To cook.
Yep.
Right, and then you can clean it all out and start again.
So what do you start with at the very beginning?
I start with corn.
Really, right from the very
from the very beginning.
So I wondered about that
because we get bags and bags and bags of sweet corn from Tabor.
Okay.
Right, because that's corn.
So
capital
we're talking
Alberta.
fresh corn?
No,
not dry
it's
corn.
Corn.
Okay,
It's old corn.
but it's not. Is it dry or not?
Well, it kind of is because it's sat around.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So then, what do you grind it up? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, grind it up, mix it up with water, few extra special ingredients, and
So you just ferment it like you're making wine.
Cook it first.
Okay.
Right, and then make a mash out of it, and then just start fermenting.
So then once it's fully fermented, so it's all off gas, that's when you distill it after that, or run it through a still after that?
You take all the solids off of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I take it out to my neighbors, or not my neighbors, but friends of mine, and they feed it to their pigs because they really, really
pigs will eat everything. Yeah, because there's probably a little bit of alcohol still in it, is there? Or
no,
really,
well, there might be, I suppose. Yeah.
Jaggy says, "Are leaf springs here it is? Are leaf springs easy to find or getting more difficult?"
Oh, super easy. I can go to any mechanic shop and pick up 2 or 3.
Okay.
Every week, like it's.
Do they charge you for them?
No.
Oh shit, that's
no,
nice.
No.
And Chicken Hawk says, he's from down a little further south than us. We store our fuel in oak barrels.
I have a small oak barrel that I got.
Okay.
That I have a gallon of fuel storing in right now. It works great.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember those
it's
old?
Like a gallon and a half. I don't know. It's a weird little keg.
How long's it been in there?
Just since we talked last. So
okay.
Only a couple weeks.
That's cool. How long are you going to age it for?
It'll store.
Okay.
For a couple years. Probably.
Yeah, because you don't want it to because
fuel, and I don't
fuel
want
goes
go
bad, right? Yeah. And if it's fuel,
I don't want you to come down and put some stable in it.
That would be bad. Yeah, I could do that. And Jaggy says, you'll get a lot of Greenkeeper Willie clan members going on a lawnmower stealing spree, but for note purposes only, and we'll have to empty them out for use. I think go around emptying all the fuel out of the lawnmowers.
Yes.
Yeah. So I put you to work today.
Did you
enjoy it?
I did.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
that
thank
bad,
you.
Was it? Yeah, it was fun.
I thought we were going to do something else.
Yeah,
no, it was good.
Yeah, it was
a little brush pile, little tear down. Yep.
A bank property. We put up a railing, changed the light bulb, but it was a tall light.
Learned how to find studs.
Yes,
with
yeah,
the screw.
yes,
Many times.
it happens. But if they only invented something that could actually find studs,
Well, right.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, we were both there.
Yeah, it's
But there was no one around to find.
That's why I don't keep one in my toolbox. So yeah. So when we changed light bulbs, two runs to the dump with the brush piles. That wasn't too bad. A little bit of garbage.
Trip to Macklin.
Yeah. Just no, it's nothing special.
We went to Saskatchewan.
It's a border town. Yeah. 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. I showed you a little bit around.
Didn't even go to the bar.
No, and now we're just chilling out, and that's what we're here because we wanted to. Well, like I said, we want to build a community, right? And
yes,
we're going to not hopefully. I've said it a few times at this point. We are going to have a get together of some sort next summer. So summer 2023 will be the first workshop. Toolman Tim's workshop. I don't know, whatever, but it'll be an in-person, freedom-minded folks from Western Canada.
Here's hoping.
Yeah,
maybe some USA guys.
I hope so, as long as they
gals
open the borders a little. They're getting closer by the day. Yeah. I think within a month or two things will be good.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And I'll come up and do some blacksmithing for them.
I would. Maybe. That's what I want you to do. Yes, it would be friggin' awesome.
Bring my stuff.
Come up and you could teach people how to build a forge.
Yeah.
And that's what it's called, right? A forge. Yep. Build a forge and then do some on-site. That's exactly what I want you to do. That would be friggin' awesome.
Try not to burn the place down. Yeah.
So what are your goals for the next year? What do you want to get done? Where are you heading?
I want to pay my house off.
Yeah.
A good portion of it.
Sure. That's why you work day and night, isn't it?
That's the biggest goal. We're debt free credit wise, other than the house.
Proud of you, man.
So that's good. Yeah.
So how, without talking about how much money you owe, what kind of time frame are you hoping?
Realistically, 5 years. 5 years.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It's a lofty goal, but yeah.
Because despite your name, you are actually 50, right?
Yes.
Okay. Even though it says you're not 50.
Well, I was in denial.
Yeah. And I understand that. And Martinson family says we shall keep it on the calendar.
Nice.
Hunter said, "Oh, we're on a roll. Topics I know something about. Awesome." So he must be working on getting debt free as well. I'm guessing. So yeah. So you guys, So that's. I mean, most everybody in this community, I think, seem to be day and night workers, or always
busy,
doing something. Yes. Yeah. Martinson, that'd be awesome. Yes, I'm sure we can bring kids, guns, and dogs.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Not.
Because my daughters will be here, and if you need babysitters, Alice and Charlotte would be awesome babysitters.
They would.
Yeah, so it's good. Yes, Martinson, I'd love to have
you
out here.
I've known them for like 8 hours.
Yes. But Charlotte, you've been here for a day, and Charlotte's had 2 babysitting jobs.
Yes.
Made $100 in 2 days. So she's
awesome.
She's a good kid. Yeah, and smithing. Oh, Hunter knows about smithing too. That's awesome.
Excellent.
So you want to get your house paid off,
yep.
And how are you doing that? You're like I said, you're working kind of as a contractor or whatever.
Yeah, I do. Well, my auto body gig is a contract job for the most part, and I that helps us live.
Okay.
And my wife's been off work for a couple of years for health reasons.
Yeah.
So she's not making anything. Right?
Okay.
So it's tough.
That is tough. Yeah.
But yeah, so then everything that I make over and above, 80% of it goes against the mortgage.
That's all. That's hard to do.
Because 80% of it went to the credit cards, to the whatever, and now all that's done because that's high.
Did you do the snowball thing?
Right?
Did you do the Dave Ramsey snowball method, or
I don't know that.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
I just
paid it off.
I just paid it off. Just $500 at a time or 50, whatever. I could afford, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And so from there, you've got. So what other goals? So what else do you ever think you'll be fully self-employed, or you're not sure? Because we talk about it, right?
Yeah, we do. We talk about it quite a bit. I would like to, but I think in that trade, I just don't see it happening.
There's a really, really big upfront cost, right?
It's huge, and there's a lot of overhead cost,
in
it as well.
So you
can find investors and all that sort of jazz, but that industry has kind of gone
more money, more problems, right? So you'd be more happy just working. I don't want to say part-time, but evenings and like side hustle, right? Just side hustling away and putting the money
If
aside.
I could take that and make it full-time, then I'd quit my other job.
Okay.
The contract job.
Yeah. So like you said, $60 an hour is what you'd like to make.
Right, because that would free up time to go do those things.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And work on the projects, and tell me about the vibrator you built.
Nice.
What?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay.
A rock tumbler.
Yes. Sorry, a rock vibrator. So tell me how exactly that worked. What did you use? Because you guys got to know that one day I was looking for a way to store, the little coin that comes out of the little disc in your gas cans. And I had no idea where to put it because I'm always setting it down and then losing it. The wind blows it off. And Chris is like, oh, just use a little roach clip or a little clip. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So he always has solutions. So the other day he'd come home. You had your video where you came home, and what did you end up getting? One of those old.
Yeah, it was those stand-on fat jigglers. I don't know what
they were.
Body vibrator, I think is what they were called.
Like 10, 12 years ago, they were all the rage.
All the rage. So it has a platform that you stand on, and then it shakes in various speeds.
Yep.
Back and forth. So I took that apart, kind of isolated the motor and the shaker part of it, and I mounted a half of a air compressor tank on it.
Yep.
And hooked up a DC motor controller so that I had variable speed.
I saw that, which was
filled
cool.
it full of rocks.
Yep.
And clamped the lid on it.
Would you use for medium in it? What kind of rocks?
Just river rocks.
Really?
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did it work?
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a tumbler, so it doesn't like do
really?
the rock tumbling. It's
okay.
more of a stone wash.
Okay.
Kind of thing. But yeah, it works really good.
Man, yeah, that's cool.
And it drives my neighbors absolutely bonkers because it has to run for like 3 hours.
They can hear it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, cool.
Because it's outside.
So what other things have you built? You always have things that you're. Yeah, think back to your videos. What have you done over the last while that was a kind of an interesting invention?
I'd have to go look.
Well, you know what? You have really good hacks for. How about, was it pipe?
Oh,
yeah.
ABC,
Talk
ABS
about your
pipe.
ABS pipe.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Just tool storage, right?
Yeah.
So take a piece of pipe, split it in half, run some screws in it, and then you can hang it vertically, you can hang it horizontally, and you can, whatever.
So
it's round, right?
Inch and a half ABS, right?
Yeah, or 2 inch, depending on what you got, right?
So how long of a piece?
2 inches.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you take a vertical cut down that line about half an inch wide.
Half an inch wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drill a couple holes, countersink them so the screws go in.
Yep.
And then you can snap a flashlight, axe.
Right.
I actually hang my steel
weed whacker
off of it.
That's you guys got to see that video.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got Chris's YouTube link in the show notes, so check that out because he is a fountain of misinformation and it's really good. So yeah, so let's see, any other projects? So you want to pay your house off going ahead.
Yeah.
What other things would you like to accomplish over the next year or 5 years?
I really haven't given it that much thought.
No,
I haven't.
Because you want to build a community. I know that.
Yeah,
you want to
I really want to work on that.
Okay.
I really want to work on finding people to do these things with.
Yeah.
Like what Aaron and Nate are doing with the meat birds, and I just teach and learn how to be less in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
really it seems to be that. I don't know. That seems to be a trend in our freedom-minded community is we've all spent time learning skills. We've all spent time buying shit.
Yes.
But the hardest thing or the thing we've all put off has been meeting people in person because it's a little scary. Not scary, but so like when you text, I told you this before, but when you messaged me out of the blue, I was like, who is this?
Who is this freak?
And he's like, I'd like to come, would you like to get together for coffee? And of course, I'm like, you know what? Yes, I need to meet people in real life. I'm like, well, if he kills me, I'll be okay. So you have to take a chance. I mean, don't bring a serial killer to your house, but talk to people. We're making connections across the province. We're doing our best because if we don't, nobody will, right? We were talking tonight about what Jack does and what Nicole does, and that shit didn't happen by mistake. It happened.
They were overnight success.
Oh yeah. Overnight success over a decade. Yeah. You know how it is. And so it came from hard work and it came from persistence because you can't always, it's not going to happen right away. And no one else is going to put this shit together for us. No. We're not going to find groups. We're not going to find like-minded people. I forget about Martinson family because I know they're in Manitoba, but not that far away, really, and everything's close. Everything's far away, but close on the prairies, right?
Yes.
It's nothing to drive 5 hours, And Hunter says, no one can do it alone. I can only do so much all by my onesie.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Chicken Hawk says, lots of us are homebodies, very building a place we don't want to leave.
Yes.
Yes. And we are. And that's the key. But we still have to find people, right? Because we talked about it. What did we say? 60. We figured 60 days, right? If shit hit the fan and people, we don't want to get too dark in the episode, but whatever. You just say if we can be self-sufficient for 60 days, we think we're in a lot better place than a lot of people.
We'll be in good shape.
But
better shape.
Only for so long, because without community, you're not going to survive no matter what you're doing. And
that's where these workshops, like what you want to do, or what Nicole was doing, right? It brings those people together that have all the set skills,
right?
That you don't have to know everything.
Yes,
right. You know people that know things, and when those people come together and they become part of a group,
it's awesome.
Commune, if you even want to
call
whatever,
it that,
right?
You know,
like, it's
So now I know you down south who fixes small engines, who does forging, who makes fuel for my lawnmower, and for your dishwasher,
right?
You know,
my dishwasher.
loves
the peach fuel.
We know. I always got to shout out Carson because I love the guy. He supplied me with some rhubarb out of the city. He's doing rabbits. He's talked about that, but I won't give too much away what he's doing. But he's just an awesome all around dude. We met Greg recently out of Alberta, who's running the Apocalyptics Preparedness School, who is just what an incredible dude. And I don't know if I mentioned this on here, but he came out about a week ago, and it's a 3-hour drive, guys. And he came out to visit me, and we sat and drank black coffee in the sun, and it was a great afternoon. Brought me a gift bag from his thing. I gotta bring that on to show you guys. But that's what we're doing, right? And we have some more connections in the province that seem to be. We'll just keep working on it, right?
Keep working on it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, don't give up.
No, because if we do, well, you know. Oh, let's see what else we got here. And Martinson family wants to know, can they bring their onesie?
100%.
Sure. Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
Love the onesies.
Yes. And Hunter said, I just finished a book, Last Person on Earth kind of thing. Horrible. It would be lonely. I would talk to myself because I like to talk, but it would.
If I had a dog, I'd be okay.
Yeah. Kind of like Will Smith in I Am Legend. Remember that? Yeah. I mean, it would suck, but at least you'd have your dog, right? So, yeah. But yeah, to me, it's kind of neat. I really enjoy the fact that so many people are working toward building community lately, and it's important. And I think out of all the bullshit we've been through over the last 2 years, it really beat people down. And a lot of people, there wasn't the community there, right?
Well, there's not.
You know, and I think people came out of it antisocial. You know,
scared.
Yeah, scared.
Yeah, scared.
Antisocial.
Scared to talk to each other, even. Like,
Do you notice sometimes when you talk to people still keep that stupid distance?
6 feet.
I hate it. Drives me nuts.
Yep.
And there's no need of it. You know, 3 feet, whatever. Be comfortable. But you know, so here we are, and that, and like I said, I think a lot of people came out of post-COVID with, I just want to stay at home. I just want to work from home. I don't want to talk to anybody. And so I think that's what really made a lot of us starving for community and connection. You know, I like that. Absolutely. Yeah. And
well, I mean, we spend so much time alone as it is. I mean, you know, you look at people that live in the cities, and I can't speak for everybody, but you know, they drive to work alone.
Yep.
They eat in their car alone.
Right.
They drive home alone.
Yep.
They go to the grocery store alone.
And then,
and they might have a family at home.
Sure.
But they spend the vast majority of their day alone, and probably with coworkers they don't like.
Yeah.
And you know,
and then think about all those people who have switched to remote working or working from home.
Yeah.
You know, any of that, right? Yeah. So it would, and
talk about your isolation.
It would be bad.
Zoom meetings.
I know. And
I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, well, we're doing it right now, but we're in person. Right?
Well, fair enough.
But it's a lot of, like, it's been a struggle for so many. And and I think that's where that real deep need for real connection comes from. And Nicole talks about underground community and about making, you know, you want to have those people that can that you can bring together and create an entire family, entire community. Yes. So, you know, you want people that have food, people that have medical care, you know, people that have handyman kind of stuff, like all of that, so that we can kind of interact and
builders.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And we got a couple more here. Jaggy says, I think I need to move out the country, as not many folks apart from tinfoil hatters here. There's a few. Yes.
There's a few here.
Yeah. And Rachel Brown says social distancing was great for those of us that can't stand normies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Norm's a nice guy though.
Norm. Yeah. But normie's a little weird. Yeah. Especially when you call him Normie, you know, he gets a little out of the way. But you know what I used to, the thing that I loved the most is, how do you want to put it? So remember when Walmart had the one-way arrows in the store? Nobody paid attention to it for a little while. Yeah. I really liked it because I didn't have to fight with people. I knew which way to go and I was good, you know? So, but and I don't really we'll skip Jaggy's quote there. So traffic was amazing. Rachel loved lockdown. I get it. Yeah. It's funny. But yeah, anything else you want to share, Chris?
No.
Were you? Yeah. So
I don't
where?
know.
So tell me, where can people find you? What's the easiest way to connect with you?
Well, I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm on Tim's Telegram groups.
Yep. It's a good Telegram group.
I don't. Well, both of them actually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're both pretty good, aren't they? Good.
And I try to comment and put things on there as much as I can. But yeah, that's
whatever.
I
Yeah,
think
we're there. We're not.
Very interesting person. So
I think.
But yeah, my YouTube channel. That's really it. I'm on Facebook.
Sure.
I'm on Twitter. Don't go to Twitter. Twitter's bad.
Poor Chris. That's okay.
And and Instagram.
Yep.
I do have my White North Forge on Instagram and my personal one on Instagram.
I will grab those links and I'll throw them in the description for you guys too, so we have them. But the way to support is the way Jaggy did earlier. He went and subscribed to your YouTube channel, right?
Absolutely,
so yeah.
If you like what you see, leave a comment because it's interaction that helps everybody.
Yeah,
right? So,
it gets your videos moving and it just you learn, they learn, everybody learns, right? So cool. Well, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't. I can't even disconnect on you, like
right.
I was like, I'll just
stay here a minute.
Yeah, he's not really here, right? So yeah. Well, thanks, man. This was fun. I like I said, you're the only one who got to do a show with me, other than my wife, live in person so far. So
Becky can have her chair back.
Yeah, she will. She'll be down again soon. So, all right, guys, well, that's it from East Central Alberta, Canada. Right now, we had a great show. This was a lot of fun in person, and yeah, if you guys are out and around, we'll have I got an episode tomorrow night. Awesome episode with James. We're going to have him on talking about electric vehicles, and it'll be a really good time. We'll get preparedness coming up on Thursday, and then the same old routine coming around. New episodes for you. Oh, and don't forget to check out the TikTok channel. For whatever reason, I just about hit 2,000 followers this weekend. So yeah, I'm going to be dancing, right? So we'll shout out to everybody. Thanks for stopping by, Dan and Chicken Hawk and Jaggy and Rachel and everyone else that was here. And yes, Liberty over on Telegram says, go follow Chris on TikTok. Yes, he did. Perfect. So thank you guys. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.